check your aim. Yeah, conversation and sample flipping. That's the movement. Hit the like, subscribe, check it. Yeah, for the next minutes of live TV, you stop with me. Got no limits, I'm that vivid, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We're back again with an episode, and this time we're going to concentrate mainly on Rata. We just want to talk about Rata. Like, if anybody can see that Rata has already made up his mind about admitting the confessions, you are killing yourself. This guy, I could see it has been clear throughout the trial within the trial, even starting from the main trial. He was always hinting that the defense story is rubbish, right? Before we get into the main thing, please like the video. Please do that. Like the video for me. Also, I got a lot of views. In my videos. I don't know why it's not translating to subscription yet. Because at some videos I'm getting about 7K, 8K, 5K too. That's a lot of views, but it needs to be transformed into subscribers. Okay, please subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, please also hit the notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Right. Now, Rata's behavior is very questionable. Very, very questionable. Right. He might be a giant in law and all that, but I think he's a toddler in terms of treating other people and in terms of how to behave amongst other people in your position as a judge. I mean, let's take it for instance. Tell me, how would you feel if you are in a meeting, you are in a business setting, like a court is a business setting, and then you are busy trying to make your point, or you are busy trying to bring your point across, and then the chairman is doing this with the pen all day. He's chuckling. He's how would you take that? That person is immature, right? So, okay, right. I'm gonna just let it pass. Let me show you what I mean. I read an article which talks about Rata and his time in the GP's Town massacre, right? The GP's Town massacre, he was the presiding officer in that trial, right? Now, what happened in the trial? The people who were in the trial, the defendants, including the defendants' counsel, they were complaining that I'm gonna have to read this, right, so that I tell you precisely what was happening there, right? But that was, let me go to the other page, right? Let me outline uh, the, 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 the complaints that they were putting across, as they also tried to have him recused in that case. Listen, I'm not trying to say the GP's Town people were correct or were right or whatever. What I'm saying is, we're just looking at the judge's behavior. When I'm reading this, I think there's a lot of them, right? When I'm reading them, please tell me if you don't hear anything familiar with what is going on in the court. Tell me if you are not hearing anything familiar with what's going on in the court, because I'm hearing a lot of things that I'm familiar with coming from that. Right. This is what they said he did. Right. They accused him of being biased and treating the state prosecutor differently. Like, kindly, right? The second time, the second thing he was accused of making light. He was making light of the criminal, the accused or the defendant's positions or circumstances. Let's say an accused will say, "I'm sick," right? And then what he will say is, "Who's going to get next? Who's going to get sick next week? I'll have the doctor stand on standby," right? Remember when he started this trial, he told us about that thing in this Mayo trial. He told us in one of those trials, the people were getting sick a lot of times, so he decided no, he's gonna pay a doctor himself to have them checked out and come back quickly to the proceedings. That time when he was saying those things, he was new to us. He was sounding fresh, and we were thinking, yeah, that's the judge. Like we need that kind of judge, right? Who doesn't give time to, who doesn't have time for games, right? Let me just put it like that. But no, it was not to be, right? We are now seeing with glimpses. It's like he's putting trails and putting breadcrumbs across his trail so that when he comes back and make a judgment, he picks up those crumbs so that he can have a trail of rubbishing the defense claims. Right. Now, he was also accused of, he said, this is what he said. Why are they not dead? Allegedly, right? Why are they not dead from hunger? This was directed at one of the accused who was complaining about the food, the lunch. He was receiving one lunch per day, something like 1 meal per day. So this was directed at that accused. Why are they not dead from hunger? Right. So now we know now what he does with complaints or the the advice that he was giving the accused to lay a complaint and whatever. Why didn't they lay a charge? He now knows what he does with complaints that are directed to him, right? The person is telling him, "I'm getting 1 meal per day." He's saying, "Why are they not dead from hunger?" Right. Let's leave that one out. Right. At one point, they say in that case, the defense wanted to listen to a 45-minute tape. This 45-minute tape, I think it was just before he was to be recused. So I don't. They had to listen to that tape. So what he said was they had to listen to it then and then. Something that he did in this case, right? I think he did something like that when he was forcing one of the defense to read, to accept one of the statements now and have it read now. In fact, yeah, I remember now. It was the court proceedings transcript, right? That was requested by Ngomezu. Msololo wanted them to go into the camera and consult and all that. He didn't want to listen to it, right? Now you can see the path is clear. Let me tell you why I never trusted that. Me from the onset. I was trusting him when he was fresh on the scene and being a no-nonsense guy. I was trusting. But now, one day he said, Oscar Pistorius' phone was not able, the police were not able to decrypt it, to retrieve to retrieve data from it. That's what he said, right? And the Oscar Pistorius trial was very public. It was publicized very much so. And then in that case, about 3,500 SMSs from his phone was downloaded. using the same software that is being used in the trial to download in this trial to download the data from the cell phones of the accused. When he said that, and I found out later, I have a video on that. You can check my channel. You see one of those videos where I'm talking about Rata. When I checked back, I I could remember still when I was saying that no man, it's not like this. But I went to check back. There are already messages from Oscar Pistola's phone. There are already messages from River Steenkamp's phone. So in this case, in Oscar Pistola's phone, I don't even think they had to struggle with the pin because he was around. So all I had to do was ask him for a pin, and then they could download whatever maybe was deleted using that software. So I don't think there was any need for a phone to be decrypted there in terms of hacking the key or cracking into the phone by passing the key. I don't think any of the sort was needed. Right. Now, he also said this phone, the headquarters of iPhone were somewhere in UK, and they are not. We know they are in America, so I don't know where he took that from. He was doing this in support of the so-called cell phone expert when he was struggling to explain why they didn't download Senzume's phone. Right. Let's continue. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to read you a couple of his famous phrases that will show you that he was just rubbishing the defense claims, right? This is what he said. Do you remember these lines? Maybe his uncle lived in his pocket. This was when Mohola claimed that they found the keys in accused number one's pocket when they were searching him to be able to open at his place of residence. Right. So you can hear how sarcastic that is from Ratha. Maybe his uncle lives in his pocket. Let me go to the next one. I don't want them to say Le Judge is Kwebele Sake. This one is the most famous one. Like lately he's been using this one a lot. So why would he say that? Right? Unless you know you're going to convict these guys and you don't want people to say, no, you just convicted them without you giving them a chance to defend themselves, right? I don't want them to say Le Judge is Kwebele Sake. Right, let me go to the next one. So make up your mind. You put up a comment and tell me what you think of these his quotes, his famous sayings. Right. All these beatings were happening in front of the patrons and the workers at the garage. Right. This was directed to accused number 2 on his claims that he was beaten at Mali around Albert in around in that engine garage, where there are seats, people sit, and there's a shop, people buy food, and there's a garage, and they are filling station pumps where you pour gas. This is where he's saying, where he was directing his comment to. All these beatings were happening in front of the patrons and the customers. Now, the patrons and the workers. Now, if Judge was serious about wanting to know more information about that incident, why didn't he make an order to have the footage from that area, from that shop, from that garage? he should have subpoenaed that footage so that they can confirm on that day if a certain Fortuna came there and they parked there sometime. Also, on another aspect, different aspect, Mtazi did say no. He requested to the court to, in fact, Ngomezu, like he said, he requested to his lawyer to request, in fact, to subpoena the video footage from the toll gates as they were traveling to Rustenburg. If Judge Rata wanted some clarity on that, why didn't he give an order for that? Say, no, let's get that footage and see if Brigadier Gininda was traveling with those guys behind, like at the same time. He didn't want to do that. He's not interested in that, right? Let me go on with the comments. The famous sayings of the judge, right? Where he's just rubbishing the claims of the defense. Do you know any place where they dump ATMs in Orlando? It was a saying directed to Gininda when he was just finishing to be cross-examined. Rata asked him this. So we all know from the defense evidence, they never said ATMs were dumped there. They said they were disused ATMs. So if a judge, somebody who's going to preside over this case, has misheard or I don't know, is twisting the words that are coming from the defense, what do you expect to happen? Let me go on with another saying. The judge has to take judicial note of known landmarks that can cause disturbances to the network of the GPS, right? This was directed to, in this trial within trial, to Baloyi, the arguments, during the arguments, like I think a day ago, it was directed to Baloyi, trying to find out or trying to reinforce Baloyi's argument that the GPS unlock that was appearing on Muhanna's AVL records was caused by the bridge, that little bridge, right? So tell me, how many bridges like that do you pass when you're going to Pretoria or any other highway there in Georgia that you come across? Those bridges where another highway is crossing over. Why is there no disturbance like that on the GPS? Right. Let's go on with the comments. Mrs. Msholo, sit down. This is my court. Do you want to run this court? I can recuse myself. It's not a problem to recuse myself. This was directed to Msholozi when she was objecting, trying for them to see the transcripts from the court, from the regional court or the magistrate court in Boxback, so that they can see it in the camera, consult, and then come back. In fact, I think they didn't want Rata to see them first. So he said, no, I'm going to do the way I feel, sit down. So what do you make of that comment? It sounds similar to that one where he was forcing that defense to read something now and then, when he could give him a chance to go and prepare themselves properly. Right. It sounds similar to when accused number 3 was saying he needed a toilet break during during Baloyi's argument. He said 3 minutes and they were back in a jiff. So I don't know. It's in a hurry for something. Another one is this. I'm going to make an order that you've seen a doctor. I'm avoiding that you'll be given castor oil. You remember that one? He was pointed at accused number five when he was uh, requesting to go to see a doctor. Yeah, you make what you make of that. Tell me what you think of that in the comments. Here's another one. What do you make of an attorney like me who is defending accused number two and tell you that Mr. Njako was not representing him? This was directed to Baloyi when he was trying to reinforce the idea that Njako was a legit lawyer. Right. Now, it's funny that Baloyi is saying, even Rata, it's like, it seems like he's believing that, okay, Njako was representing Dan's property, right? Now, is he staying blind to the fact that Njako was with the police, the crime intelligence? Why is he, because Mshololo, advocate Mshololo raised it up. I'm sorry if I said Mshololo there. I think I said Mshololo on the previous comment. It's Mshololo. If you wanted to know, you would have made an order after that Mshololo comment. When Mshololo said, did Njako work for the crime intelligence? You should have said, Baloyi, request us the work records of Njako so that we can verify if he was really with the crime intelligence, so that we can see if there was any conflict of interest. Because if he is representing Tanzania and is working for the police, that's a conflict of interest. Who is gonna represent most? The one who's paying, right? Now, you know what? Baloyi was amazing. That's what they said. The 30% as Atlantis called him. They say he was amazing in the argument. But you know what? When it came to the go-to, the dentist, right? He went to all the evidence, the bullshit evidence. I'm sorry for saying it. I'm gonna have to say it. The bullshit evidence that he said was the medical certificate. He was trying to pass off the dental certificate as a medical certificate, which reports injuries, right? But the motive of the policeman when they were taking Danzi to that dentist was just to check if he had a go to. It was not to check if he had injuries. Now, that Baloyi was stressing on that. He was hinting on no injuries at all costs throughout the doctor's testimony. The surprising thing is he never touched the fact that the doctor said there was no good tooth. That's profound. That's very profound. Like, is this state prosecutor seeking justice, or is he seeking a predetermined outcome? You make up your mind. You tell me in the comments. Right. Now let's go to what Mngomezulu was doing today. I'm just gonna leave you with a few lines. This video will be as raw as they come, because I'm not going to edit much. I'm just going to leave it with my my slurring, whatever. I'm gonna leave it like that so that I give you the raw stuff. Mngomezulu came as a beast today. That was class. That was world class. He was schooling the young man, his state counterpart, that I do this, boy. I do this for real. He was hitting things straight off the head. He had the script right here. The script was right here, and it was going like this. There you go. There you go. There you go. That was beast mode. Yes. With all those words, I'm gonna pile. What I'm gonna give you next, I went further to find out if that photo that I posted on my in the video, if it was him. I did find out it was him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up with a part two that will probably just be for the members when I'm posting all his, when I'm revealing all his pictures and even telling you where he was a station commander before. Until then, peace. Please like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop.